Nerd Confessions.
Incoming transmission. Accessing database. Identification acquired. Welcome back, user. Nerd Confessions will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody, welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts, opinions, and everything nerdy, geeky, techie, or whatever. It's been a couple weeks since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that you can follow us on various social media platforms, find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. We've been really getting crazy on our Instagram, up to 400 followers now, which is pretty crazy. We also are
Ellie's doing such a good job.
Ellie, our former intern, has been kicking some butt on there.
I'm still an intern?
Former.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Kicking some butt. So I'm Soheil, your moderator for this episode, and I'm joined by William.
Hello.
Ellie.
Hi.
Tommy.
Yo.
And we have a special guest today, Pedram.
Hello.
And it's Pedram, not Pedro.
Not Pedro.
In this episode,
His name is Ronald. It's actually Pierre, guys.
Oh,
Pierre
okay.
for the French version.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
In this episode, we'll be talking about the latest nerd news and the next big Marvel hit, Doctor Strange, a top-down shoot, and we'll be talking about a top-down shooter indie game named Rogue Contract Syndicate, and the latest big TV shows that Tommy's been watching. Tommy's TV Corner, let's call it that.
Tommy's TV Corner.
What?
Yeah.
Springing stuff on me now? Is that what's going on?
For starters, let's see what everyone's been up to this week. William, what's new with you?
Hey, so I watched Doctor Strange with you guys. I played Rogue Contract Syndicate, which is nowhere near as good as Hotline Miami, but had some enjoyable parts. I played BioShock a lot. I got the platinum for that. And I played BioShock 2. I got the platinum for that. Platinum still. And
Platinums on platinums?
Platinums on platinums.
I guess that's cool.
I don't understand the whole, I mean, I kind of get it, but like the whole achievement thing, it just kind of like baffles me. I know I was talking to some guy online, he was obsessed with getting every achievement in every game. Like, so what do you do in the event that you don't get an achievement in a game? He goes, it drives me nuts. I'm like, well, that's a horrible way to live your life.
I only care about games I love, usually, unless it's really easy to get. Like BioShock's, all the BioShock games, I have to get them because they weren't hard to get, and I like the game. So it gave me a goal to achieve by playing it.
So you only go after easy ones?
If it's like too ridiculous, like there's a multiplayer one that's impossible to get. I know, like BioShock 2 when it came out on PS3, it had one where you had to do the multiplayer, and I hated the multiplayer, so I didn't get that one. But now they took the multiplayer. I was like, now's my chance, so I got it.
Sweet. So, what you been up to, Tommy?
This week I started watching Better Call Saul on Netflix. I actually finished the first season that was available. I finished watching Blacklist on Netflix as well. I think it was like season 4 that I finished. I think there's a third season. I forget which one, but there's one that just is actually airing now. Finished season 2 of Kuro Mukuro, which is a Netflix original robo kind of anime, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. We saw Doctor Strange in theaters, which was really good. Watching The Walking Dead season 7, which is pretty exciting. I've been playing some Ark. We played a little bit of Gears of War earlier this week too.
Did you watch all those TV shows while playing Ark?
I actually did. I was multitasking.
There you go.
It's pretty nice. Nothing better than sitting there farming some metal while watching some shows on Netflix.
All right. So, Ellie, what have you been up to?
I watched Doctor Strange with you guys.
And that's it.
That's pretty much it.
I've lived in a box the rest of the week.
Yeah, The Walking Dead and that one game.
That one game? Oh.
Rogue Contract.
That was a
Syndicate.
fantastic game.
Say it.
Yeah, that Rogue Contracts Syndicate. I would have said
Syndicate?
Contacts?
Some road contacts?
Yeah, that was an interesting game. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was interesting.
Will and Ellie have done a video review, and it will be coming out very, very soon. We'll put it out very soon for you guys on YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah, it's tubes.
YouTube.
That's it. And then I tried contacting my alien family. That's about it.
What the hell? All right then.
Okay. That's another news drop right there.
All right, Pedram, since you're a guest here, we'll let you go before I go. What have you been up to?
Thank you. This week I tried to play a lot of WoW on my free time. That's a game that I mostly play now. I used to play Star Wars: The Old Republic. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that game.
Yeah,
we played together.
Yeah.
I'm really into MMOs, so that's why I mostly play MMOs. And
So Tommy abandoned you.
Tommy did abandon me.
Tommy was really good the first day because he dropped like $50 and then played for like 2 hours and got all the good shit, and then he boned.
Yeah, I remember. Back then it was when they had introduced their like buy these gambling packs.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
They introduced their gambling packs, and Tommy, we all know Tommy. He loves to gamble, and he dropped like, as I said, $50. He got something very valuable, sold it, and never used any money he got from it ever again.
What are you talking about? Which one?
You got like a black and black dye for your armor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, yeah.
He sold for like 1 million
You
credits.
know what
or
else
something.
I did? You know what else I did? I bought in-game credit on WoW, and I got all the gold for it, and it's sitting right now on my account. I'm just like a gold hoarder, and I wish I was like this in life. Fuck.
You're not.
It'd be
bro.
nice.
Yeah, you're not. No.
What are you gonna do with that gold? Ever?
Rub it on my face? I don't know.
Doesn't the gold lose in like value?
No, it doesn't. Gold is gold, bro.
Are you sure things don't get more expensive as the game goes on?
And then eventually get less expensive.
What?
It's called an economy, bro.
Expansions come, and then things will.
I am so sorry, actually.
That one.
I'm sorry.
Someone was very interested about expansion coming out in gold.
What is expansion? What about the expansion? Sorry.
So when expansions come out, markets fluctuate. So
Yeah, I thought when an expansion comes out, your gold actually dips because there's so many more people playing. So the game gets more people, the economy gets a little stronger, and then all the money deflates. Inflates. And then once you end up, when people stop playing, the money deflates again and gets more strong.
It's not necessarily the money, though, right? It's more of like what you buy with it.
it's the thing is though, because people try to flood the market with whatever is about to go out, all the mats, all whatever is about to basically become useless. So
Yeah.
people try to flood the market with those, trying to get whatever gold they can.
Yeah.
And then when the new expansion hits, new mats, people
Yeah, it's
basically just spend all
an
the
arms
gold
race.
they have to be able to get all the nice things.
Yeah, so you buy up all the new shit, and then after like 2 or 3 weeks, so now that more people started playing, because most people don't play in the very, very first week nowadays because they're so tired of just crashes and lag and stuff, so they'll wait like a week or two. And then they'll start to play, so that's when you flood the market with all that crap.
All right. Sounds like a good thing. What else have you been doing?
And on Friday, we all went to see Doctor Strange. It's a fantastic movie.
That's right, you joined
And
us.
yeah, it was really fun. And pretty much
It was a strange movie,
week-
wasn't it?
Go on. Stop.
stop. Don't even.
Yeah, don't go there.
After we left, the car ride home was all Strange puns. It's terrible.
Yes.
I wanted
saw
to
that.
just like open the
That's
open the
so
door and just
strange
throw
that
them
you
out.
talk about strange puns.
He goes, all you said is, I'm going to use that from now on. That's so strange.
I didn't lie.
Yeah, you're so stupid. All right.
That's
so,
a strange comment to make.
anything else? Or you're.
And BlizzCon.
Oh,
BlizzCon
you
over
watched
the weekend.
BlizzCon, yeah.
Yeah.
BlizzCon was big this weekend, I think. So everyone was pretty much focusing on it. I know it's in Anaheim, right?
Yes, it is.
So let's go into what I've been doing. I did only 3 things this week. I played Ark with Tommy.
Yep.
Of course.
Very little, because I'm not living up to the Tommy's standard of playing.
No, he's
Ark.
not. I'll tell you right now.
'Cause-
Put
'cause
that
he
on
played
notice.
Too little.
You gotta
Number 2,
multitask. You gotta talk to Allie, and you gotta play Ark at the same time.
yes. And I watched Kung Fu Panda 3 on Netflix.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't playing Ark. I was watching damn.
And then I
Really
also
bad
watched
himself.
Doctor Strange. And sorry, I did 4 things. And I watched Interstellar because I went to the gym and the gym had it on TV, and I watched part of it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on in this movie?" I had to watch it in the full length.
Wasn't disappointing?
It was kind of weird.
Did you see where it went off the rails at the end there?
Yeah, he was like in a bungee room, and then he started touching things, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And then all of a sudden, he's
The backside of bookshelves.
yeah. Didn't they say the Tesseract? He called it the Tesseract.
I never saw Interstellar. So
Well,
That part was dumb. How could he breathe in there? This is dumb.
He has a suit on.
He had the suit off.
No, he
Didn't
had the suit on the whole time.
Didn't he have it off at that time?
Oh, didn't you also go to pony races this week?
Oh yeah, I also went to the Breeders' Cup this weekend, but that's something I did. But yeah,
That's a fun thing.
I went to the Breeders' Cup and watched the most expensive race in horse racing, which is $6 million.
Did you win
You're
money?
like a mafia boss, huh?
Yeah, I won about $10. in total.
$10? That's it?
Yeah, I don't bet that much.
Did you pay like
I
$1?
paid 40 cents and won $13. So
You went and gambled 40 cents?
and won $13.
Come
Mr.
on,
High
man.
Roller.
40 cents? Like at least
It's a hard bet. It's a hard bet.
At
You
least
have to bet.
$5 or some shit.
If you bet $5, it's 5 times 4. This was 10 cents times 4. If you do $5, it's you have to buy a horse and they have to come exactly in that order: 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so spend $40. You imagine how much you would have won?
Yeah, you can win thousands, but I'm not playing that game.
But $40.
10 cents is my limit. Okay, relax. You gotta back
Fancy.
down. I'm not rich.
You know how much cheese I could get?
You know,
with
I don't
10
join a
cents?
game and play for 20 minutes and spend $50 and ride around on a hoverboard and say, "Look at me," and then stop playing the next day.
Hey, man. This is how you roll in life.
But
All
Kung
right.
Fu Panda. Does he meets his parents, right?
Yeah, this is a panda movie.
He meets his dad.
He meets his panda parent.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Does
then
he
it was
leave
really
his
interesting.
Bird parents.
His dad is still around.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
His dad is still around, and his dad still loves him. Mr. Chow.
Did we meet his
Mr.
parents
Chow.
That's
before?
fantastic.
Mr. Chow.
Mr. Chow's, I think, is the name of the
You wanna
actor.
get some
I don't think I
noodles?
met his parents before, right? It was
He's
just
a
He
like
never
dog
met his
parent.
panda parent, but he's met his. He has a regular dad that he's with.
His duck parents, no?
Anywho,
News of the week.
so we have a lot of news this week, actually. So
Yeah, a lot
let's
of
news number 1 is gonna be about Star Wars. Donald Glover's mom warns him not to mess up Lando for her. So Danny Glover's, I forget his name, Donald Glover,
Donald.
says his mom apparently said something to some news reporter that she has a fondness for Lando and doesn't want her son to mess it up because he's kind of like a comedian. So he's got multiple personalities. He's also a rapper, and his rapper's name is, I forgot his rapper's name. I just had it on top of my head. Childish Gambino. There it is.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the
wow.
guy?
Yeah, Childish Gambino is his rapper name. You know how he got that name?
How?
He went to a Wu-Tang Clan name generator and typed his name in, and it gave him Childish Gambino, and that's what he went with. So he didn't like
Are you
just
for
use,
real?
yeah, he used it off a name generator. So there's that.
Interesting.
So that's pretty cool. The Hello Games Twitter was taken over by a disgruntled employee and posted, "No Man's Sky was a mistake." Sean Murray, which is, I think, the head of Hello Games, told the press that they are working to resolve the matter internally. What do you think?
Says they're getting fired.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That guy's going to get super fired.
This
If he wasn't already fired, he's getting fired now.
It makes you think about what they kind of feel inside Hello Games about how the game reception was. And if they should have put more time into it, if they should have been pressured into a release date.
Maybe they shouldn't have did that picture with them holding that disc up. Because
That's a lot of memes about that.
I
That's for
hate
sure.
that picture.
So
a
many
lot.
memes. So many negative memes.
Because it's like, we did the game. And you're like, all right, you did the game, but the game sucked. So thank you very much.
They just needed to do what I said. Don't say it's a full release. Say it's like a beta, like Arc or something like that. It's an early release.
Why did they...
Arc
Well,
is not a beta. Arc is life, okay?
Isn't Ark in alpha, actually?
Arc is a preview. So it's kind of like a live beta.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Alpha.
It's kind of like a
'Cause
lazy alpha.
beta, all the game is there. You're just testing it. It'd be alpha.
This game is in beta. It's all the game's there. They're just adding weird crap to it.
It's pretty much an alpha because it's not done.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Star Citizen.
Yeah, it's in both settings. But yeah, the whole thing with Hello Games, that was interesting. And I think PlayStation made a joke about it, didn't they? They said something about like something was a lie.
They made a
something-
joke about it.
something's
Well,
a mistake.
not a joke. He said, "Oh, it's just an indie developer. Don't expect
yeah.
too much."
That's interesting. All
Because the
right.
game sucks.
I mean, that says a lot about the game.
Yeah, it was bad deal. Bad news bears. I paid $60. I only played it for 2 days and I stopped playing it.
Oh, what? You paid $60 and played a game short-timed? Oh, that's crazy.
Don't justify
Man.
yourself.
Attempting the care. Loading. Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 and 2.5 Remix are coming to PS4 and have their trailers released. I love Kingdom Hearts. I think it's a great game.
It's an old school game.
It's fun.
They're going to be the HD versions, so maybe they'll be more appealing to you now.
Is it going to be the same story?
Yeah, it's the
Just
HD
HD versions.
Just HD. Okay.
It's what it says. It says HD 1.5 and 2.5.
What is the difference between 1.5 and 2.5? I don't know.
They're two different games.
It's just like an expansion on the old one.
Huh?
Attempting
Tempting to understand. Huh?
to understand. So
They did the same thing with Final Fantasy X. Remember, there's Final Fantasy X-2.
Dude, don't
Final Fantasy
even start
10-3.
about Final Fantasy. Those guys, how is it a Final Fantasy when it's like 10 goddamn... No.
It's Square Enix.
Move on.
okay?
I don't want to even talk
Square
about
Enix
those
is cool. Square Enix does a really good job on their game releases. I think that their next Final Fantasy is going to be a big hit. So we'll see what happens.
I just don't get the name. Why don't they just call it Fantasy 1, Fantasy 2?
All right, enough with
It's
you.
never a final.
Enough with you.
It's never final.
Well, it's a Final Fantasy 2.
A $2,000 solid gold Pikachu card was for sale in Japan.
That is insanity.
$2,000.
fantastic.
I would buy it.
$2,000 solid gold. Just melt that shit. That's all I would do.
It's probably not that much if you think about it. What is a solid gold like card? Think about it. It's like flat.
How many?
thin.
Like what? It'd be like a pound, maybe. Solid gold, like a card.
I don't think it'll be a pound, son.
Well, I mean, I doubt it's like thin.
Think of a piece of paper.
No, it's no way.
No.
There's
I
no
would
way.
say imagine those credit cards that are
Yeah.
kind of heavy in metal.
Yeah.
So it's going to be just like that.
It'll probably be like 4 ounces. 4 ounces. Maybe like
Maybe half a pound. Then.
maybe $1,000 worth of gold. The extra $1,000 because it's Pikachu. There you
I mean,
That's
what made
fantastic.
it special other than gold?
go. What happens if you threw it really hard? Does it cut someone?
We'll add a little
Yeah.
bit more value.
No, will
since
it
it's
shock
Pikachu.
somebody? That's what you want.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Does gold?
Does it call friction burn?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because
It's
static.
some weird ass shit you're talking
Do you know how
How's it
Pokemon
weird?
Go cards are going for right now? Now that Pokemon Go kind of revitalized it.
about. A lot, right? The holographics, the original holographics.
Yeah,
They're going for a
Still.
lot.
still, even though Pokemon Go's dead.
I threw my Pokemon cards away 3 years ago. My mom found them in the garage. She asked me what.
3 years ago?
Yeah, when I was moving around and stuff, she's like, "Hey, what do you want to do with these cards?" I said, "Mom, just chuck them in the trash." And now I regret it
I don't even know where
because
the
I had a
hell
whole
my
bunch
shit-
of holographs in there.
Oh, you could have
This
sold
little-
all that shit.
I got a couple $100.
Hey, that's another game you could buy and play 2 days.
I cried a little bit, but it's okay. MIT created a nightmare machine experiment. The experiment is an AI that uses algorithms to create creepy images out of place and faces. The machine places and faces. Sorry. The machine learns by human input. You can vote on whether you found the image chilling, which is kind of interesting.
I don't understand. What
What do you think
does
about
this
this?
It basically generates nightmares, and then you vote on if you think it's scary or not. And if you think it's scary, it continues to probably work on that motive, right? Motif.
So you're telling me that?
It's a nightmare machine, man. Nightmares.
So you mean for America it would be like Donald Trump's face just popping up?
It could be that, or it could be Hillary Clinton's face.
It could be. It's
Yeah,
true.
my only worry is it's based off human input. What if people like lie to fuck with it?
Yeah, that could be true. Imagine someone that wasn't really scared of a bunny, and they kept saying it was really scary, and then it kept putting a lot of
So, like,
bunnies.
demon bunny nightmare.
Well, who said it was a demon? It could be a fluffy bunny, and they're scared of it. Remember that lady that's scared of cucumbers? Have you ever heard of that lady?
I heard those cats that scared of
I don't know what
cucumbers.
you said.
Snakes.
Well, yeah, I've seen that too. I've seen cats are scared of cucumbers. I've seen that before.
They think it's snakes. That's why
That's
they
right.
There's
react weird to
something.
it.
Yeah, there's this thing on the floor.
I have no idea what the cats
I don't know.
do.
Understand it. I still.
I never had a cat, and I never want a cat.
I never tried it though.
I had a cat piss on me once, and I was really pissed off. I never want a cat.
They're,
So
the only animal that carries
So
a
dogs
human
never
parasite.
pissed on you?
there's a cat.
Cat's the only animal that carries a human parasite.
Isn't that for women only though?
No, it affects. It's women need to be worried about it because it affects the women that are pregnant, but it affects everybody.
I don't want no.
It
Cat.
changes your brain chemistry.
No, thank you for cats.
And two cat people.
Love cats.
God damn it!
I didn't know it does all that.
A real wizarding school is opening in France.
Why?
Wait, for real?
Yeah, they're opening, and I think they're charging about a lot of money because it's like a week-long class, and you get to board there and stay there and basically do potions, fake potions, of course. And it's probably like a cooking school more than anything.
That'd be cool.
And then you're living there and you're boarding there, and I think it's like $20,000. I think
Ooh la la.
so. You're doing that.
Are you enrolled now, Sohio?
I wish I had the money to do that. Plus, I don't know how it would fit in, because if there's like 30 students and I was one of them, I'd be like, I want to learn some cool stuff. But if they're going to teach me how to cook something, I'm going to be pissed.
That reminds me of my little Mad Doctor kit I got when I was little for Christmas one year. For Christmas one year. And it just basically make gummies and other little things in this little set.
Isn't it? It's basically like what's that? Women's.
Flubber.
What was that
Flubber
cooking?
gummies.
What was the cooking thing for women?
Easy bake.
Easy bake oven for boys. The Mad
But-
Scientist one where you
but
put the
it's
gummy
not.
in the oven and
Basically,
it
yeah.
came out and you're
What
like,
was
oh,
it?
it's a worm.
Yeah, it was like insects and things that
and,
you
then,
eat.
and then it tells you, and it tells you
You
that.
make little mummies.
I remember that they gave you like a little bit
Edible,
of
though.
things,
Yeah.
like a brownish dirt, and it was basically cookie crumbs, and you just threw it on top of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy bake oven for boys. That's what I remember it is.
It's a Mad Scientist kit.
But you could do this, friends. Anyways.
What?
All right, PS4 Pro launch is almost here, and I know Will's excited because Will has it on pre-order. And here's a list of all
I
the
need to
games
do
that will
that
be
too.
supported on that launch: Battlefield 1, Battlezone, Call of Duty, Black Ops 3, Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Remastered. Oh my God, I can't never say
Deus
this
Ex
game.
Mankind
Deus Ex
Divided.
Deus
Mankind Divided.
I read that as Dos Equis for some reason.
Because you can't read. Dishonored 2, M Drive Club VR, EA Sports 2017, FIFA, Firewatch, Helldrivers, Hitman, Hustler Kings, Infamous First Light, Infamous Second Son, Knack. Oh, Knack's so good. I remember buying that game with Encore, and we never played it.
And I was just
Did you play with Nick?
No. Mafia 3, which I heard is bad. Mantis
Really?
Burn Racing.
Oh wow,
Middle Earth, Fat Shadow of Mordor. That game is great.
that is a good game.
NBA 2K17, Neon Chrome, never played it. Paragon, love it. PlayStation VR Worlds, haven't played it yet, even though I have it. Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, another thing you've spent money on? You don't play?
No, I just don't have. I don't have time. Attempting the carrot loading. Res Infinite. Ride 2, Riggs, which Will loves. Rise of Tomb Raider, which I haven't played. Robinson, The Journey. Smite. Has anyone played Smite?
I haven't
I've played a little bit of Smite.
Isn't that like that MOBA kind of game?
It is a MOBA, yes.
Yeah.
It's a first-person. Almost, you can actually do actually third-person MOBA.
Isn't
instead of
it? It's like the old gods, right?
It's some part of Greek gods, and then other gods they try to tie into it with expansions or hero releases to bring out other gods.
That sounds
as well.
like fun. I'm gonna
It
look
is.
into it.
It is pretty fun.
Super Stardust Ultra. Didn't play that. The Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited. Is that the
Online.
online one?
Yeah.
Have you played the online one? What do you think?
No.
The Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition, which I heard is not that great, but we'll talk about that in another episode. Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Left Behind, the Playroom VR, Thumper. I played Playroom VR with my mom. Man, it was hilarious. Thumper, Titanfall 2, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Oh my God, Uncharted, so good. Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, Viking Squad. What was it called again, Ellie?
Blood Rush.
You mean Rush of Blood?
Rush of Blood? Okay. Wheels of Aurelia. Oh my God. World of Tanks. XCOM 2. That's a lot of games.
30.
I can't wait for God of War to come out for that. The new one.
So you're gonna get
Star
the
Wars.
Well, that will work on both PS4 Pro and regular PS4, I think. Right?
Yes, but he's getting pro.
Yeah, you're getting Pro. It should look much better on the Pro.
I'm getting pro. Apparently.
Well, you have Watch Dogs 2 coming, so
Yeah, that's
you
true.
have to buy the Pro.
The only thing he's a pro at, getting a PS4 Pro.
What is the price at launch again?
400.
400. It's not that bad. It's the original.
Actually, it's
Cost.
$3.99.
Okay, well,
Save a
99
penny.
cents. Save the penny.
Isn't it $1?
Yeah, man. You know what I could do with that whole $1? I could
$3.99.
go to a pony race and I could like
Oh.
quadruple.
$3.99.99.
If you get 4 of those races in a row, if you get 5 of those races in a row, it's 310,000.
That's a whole PlayStation Pro.
310,000.
Oh shit! I tuned out at the last
5 minutes. If you get in the first 5 races correct of
What?
the winners,
Well, what happens if you lose? Like you just lose that $1 or what?
you have to make the bet before the races race. And if you get all 5, if you do all of the races in a row, all 12, if you get all 12 right, that's like $8 million.
Okay, so let's say you don't. They just take that money, right?
Yeah, you just take that. They take.
They're not
the
going to
money.
be like, you owe $8 million now.
No. Oh, what? When does gambling ever work like that?
Listen, I don't know.
You go to
I'm not a
Vegas.
gambler.
When did they ever do that to you?
Well, that's
Makes
Vegas.
no
That's
sense.
Vegas. It's Vegas.
They'll take your money.
What? All right,
Okay.
continue.
So, what game are you most excited for the PS Pro?
God of War.
It's not even announced
Super
yet.
Mario.
Watch Dogs 2 is going to
Super
support
Mario.
it, so I'm excited to try that out.
I'm kidding.
I'm actually excited to see. I want to see a game that's coming out later, which would probably
Titanfall might be kind of cool.
I actually own Deus Ex Mankind Divided right now. I haven't touched it and kind of waiting to play it on the Pro.
What's Viking Squad? Never played it.
Squad of Vikings.
Squad of Vikings.
Ancestor.
Squad of
Dude, I want to get. What's that game that we played at the Sony PSX? That fighting game
By Ubisoft?
Yeah, Ubisoft.
For Honor.
You'll like that game. I want to
For
play
Honor
that game.
is fantastic. I love that game.
We played that game at the PS4 experience, PlayStation experience.
Probably play it next month.
Yeah, at the PlayStation experience.
Sure
yeah.
will.
It'll probably be there, but it won't be in. Dude, it was the most beautiful alpha I've ever seen. When I played it, I was like, it said this is pre-alpha. I was like, this looks better than any beta I've
It's
ever
not
seen.
going to look anywhere as good as they're showing in the trailers, though. No way.
I don't understand how they got it that good looking. I mean, is there computers down there instead of PlayStations, you think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's stupid.
Did you see a PS4? I don't remember seeing PS4.
I just use a PS4 controller, but I didn't see a PS4 running it.
Yeah.
I saw it going in a big box underneath my television.
Yeah.
They hid it. Them goddamn liars.
Mud truckers.
PC Master Race.
Most of the PS4 Pro supported games on a 1080 display will super sample from high resolution down to 1080p, increasing the fidelity of the picture display. PlayStation VR games will be displayed at the actual 1080p instead of 810, in addition to other effects being added.
Okay, what the fuck does that mean?
We'll explain.
You have a 1080p display. Okay.
Okay.
So for regular games, most games can't even support like native 1080p. So they
Like
do,
the console can't support it.
yeah. So they do like a low resolution up sample. But the PS4 Pro has the power to do 1080p and more. So what they do is they do a higher resolution and then down sample. And it's always good to go from something that's higher to something that's lower. It looks better.
Okay.
So that's why.
So that's good then.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
big
good thing.
news.
It'll make games look a lot better.
Sweet. Look like a movie then, more than the actual game.
Well, the main effect will be
Yes, Will, it's correct. It
Less-
will look more like a movie.
less jaggies on the edges is what you're going to see
Less
most of.
jaggies on edges.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the little jagged lines?
I've never had that problem.
You've not been
Basically,
looking. It's because it's all fuck over arc. It's like everywhere on arc.
that game has a lot of it in there. Honestly.
On Xbox anyway.
First of all, Arc is life. Okay, let's just put that on the table.
Who's ever said that? Who's ever said Ark
I
is
just
life?
said it twice tonight.
Oh, why?
Because Arc is
I
life.
have no friends.
My friends are dinosaurs.
That's sad.
Those are the best kind of friends.
You have to knock out and then keep all your friends tranquilized until you feed them enough food for them to like you.
In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rename one dino per person in here. So, like, you'll probably be like, a Will will be like a Triceratops.
Oh, I thought you were going to make me a dodo.
Ellie's going to be the penguin.
Make me the giant dodo,
There's a
please.
penguin?
I have a
What
penguin.
happened to the penguin that we had last night?
Yeah, it's good. It's matured. I can pick it up and everything.
Is it alive still?
Yeah, it's
so
alive.
stupid, that damn thing.
It's hilarious. I crack up so much. Just this fucking penguin just hanging around. It's great.
I'm a
I kill all his brothers. Anyway, continue.
Technology is getting better and better. A pop-up 24-inch display is being sold that unfolds like an umbrella. Basically, when you take your umbrella out of your your car and you pop it open, it's like that with the screen. It hooks up to your smartphone and sports a built-in speaker, perfect for watching Netflix on the go.
I think it kind of.
Or porn.
Oh my god! You think it opens up kind of like those car shades?
With condom?
What?
Like condoms? No,
A condom dispensary in there? What?
it's kind of like the like when you have an umbrella and you just like pop it open. Or you know the tents that you have that automatically open? It's
yeah,
like that.
or
yeah.
like some of those car shades where you gotta like kind of like fold it into.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you're
I'd rather
pretty close.
have that headset that doubles as a display that goes to your eyes. Or like something like the Google Glasses. Something like this would be cool if they make it transparent and it can overlay your car. Like
Nah.
you have a HUD on your car.
What?
Yeah, because that's what we need. More people not paying attention to where they're going.
No, it's like a HUD on your car. Like you could have that instead of a backup mirror. You could actually like have the camera being displayed on your back.
They already made something. They made something like that recently, where you have like a thing that you can put down on your dash, on the top of your dash, that has a little sticky that holds it there, and it has like a teleprompter top, and you can put your phone down and it like shows up on the top.
Think of it this way too: you can expand your visibility. So instead of having like your miles per hour right there, it could be part of the windshield. So you just have more windshield.
Yeah, until a bird like shits all over it, and then you can't see your speed. You're like, oh god, officer, I'm so sorry.
Well, you'd have
I thought it said 54, not like 94.
You'd have more space to look around.
Look around on what? Who the fuck?
Less of a chance
Who
that
is
you'd be
looking
pooping on a spot that would make it less visible, like make it hard for you to see.
Who is staring at the dashboard that hardcore while driving?
What are you talking about?
Okay, if you have the speedometer,
I'm talking
and all
about
that
more
shit on
space.
but no, if that's all on the windshield, you have more space now down below to do what?
To look at stuff.
What are you looking at down there?
His phone.
Boy,
What?
you stay on. Hey, whatever freeway you're on, I'm gonna be on the other one.
Yeah, please.
Whatever.
It's dangerous.
Challenge accepted.
All right, so the next thing is that we're going to talk about is the special edition Star Wars Force Awakens Blu-ray 3D will be out later this month. And in the director commentary, it is said that Abrams debunked all fan theories of Rey being Luke, Obi-Wan's, or Han's daughter, saying she's not related to any of them.
That's rude.
I think it's all part of his elaborate plan to pull a fast one over everybody, and he's just lying.
If he's remember when you sent me that video of the angry video game guy playing a game, Angry Joe, and you're like, he says cousin. It doesn't say cousin, it says curses.
Face me, cousin.
He says face me.
It sounds like cousin.
And then it goes curses. Like,
well, it's not. It didn't sound like curses to me. It was curses with some sort of like hit sound. It made it sound like cousin.
I don't think that a video game that
face me, cousin,
Disney would put out would be that
it's
open.
possible.
Could be.
Is it planning for the future?
I really hope that this is actually true, that what he says, because then it would. I mean, if we find out Rey is like fucking related one, it's gonna be such a stupid storyline. It's like, come on, give us something. Like, there's all these goddamn people in this big ass galaxy. You tell me no one is got special shit?
Well, we still don't know if Gina Erso from the new movie coming out December, Rogue One, if Rey is she could be related to Gina Erso.
This is true. This is true.
This could be a way to develop the characters that she's actually.
That could explain the random fucking movie.
Do we get any explanation on why
Rogue One
Rey
is so
has
random.
super perfect teeth? Is the Force pushed together her teeth, or what?
Force guided
push
the teeth
chicklet.
together.
Force push her teeth to get some chiclets. All right, so next piece. Deadpool 2 will begin filming in Vancouver in 2017. You ready?
The Lord has spoken.
Are you excited, Tommy? Because you love that.
Fuck yeah, I'm excited.
Remember that one time you put the Deadpool costume on? You look like a big red cherry tomato.
Let's not bring up the dark past, okay?
What if it's not as good as the first one? What if you're really disappointed?
Don't go there.
I doubt it.
Don't ruin my dreams already.
Ellie, what do you think? Go ahead. No, go ahead, Pedram.
I was gonna say, but you still gotta keep in mind always sequels. Just manage your expectations.
Exactly, because you can't expect it to be just as good as the first one, because the first one was really a flop anyway, right? Because they weren't going to cancel that movie, then they put that weird trailer out, right? And people were like, "Oh, I want to see this movie super bad," and they got funding, and they said, "We just got to keep it like the trailer," and that's what happened. So it is a little bit of luck. So hopefully we don't see that movie, the second movie, be very terrible. I hope it's not terrible.
Well, considering it was a success, I hope that they continue to give them the creative freedom that they gave them with the.
Yeah, Fox, don't fuck this up. Anyway, moving on.
Please don't.
Samsung, the guys that make bombs. Just kidding. Has recalled 2.8 million washing machines in the U.S. Samsung hardware no longer reliable. Is that the question?
It's pretty sad at this point that this is happening. I mean, at first the phone, now they're fucking washing machines. Like, I don't know. It sounds like my mom thinks it's an elaborate scheme from some other company who got hired in to fuck up Samsung shit. I'm like, okay. I mean, at one point you could think, maybe, but at the same time, it's like, what are the chances?
So you telling me some guy's doing some corporate sabotage with washing machines?
Well, think about it. This entire
putting
time,
bombs in them or what?
No, but think about it. This entire time, right? All of a fucking sudden, right before the iPhone 7 drops, all their phones go batshit crazy, and then now their washing machines are going. Well, I mean, what the hell?
Do you remember that kid that made that like clock suitcase thing?
Yeah.
Back in like his middle school, he was like, "Yeah, it's just a clock," and it was in a suitcase, and he kind of looked like a bomb. Maybe he's working at Samsung,
Maybe.
making all that. She's like, "These are all supposed to have clocks in them, but they're actually bombs." I'm sorry, I just made some stuff
Apple
up.
will probably bring out some washers and.
Will it be a felony if I bring the washing machine on a plane with me?
Probably.
You can carry that?
I think if you can carry it, they're gonna let you carry it.
It's carry on
too
luggage.
intimidating.
I would like to check this washing machine with me, please.
Yes, I'd like to purchase an extra seat for my washing machine.
It'd be really funny if you took the washing machine, and put it yourself in it and shipped yourself with the plane while you're in the
That would be the most uncomfortable ride. You'd just be tumbling the entire
There was one story. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard it from my mom or my dad. I forget who told me. Some Indian kid ran up to the landing gear and like climbed on the plane while it was going up, and then he like froze. And they like when they put the landing gear back down, he's like holding the landing gear and he's like frozen.
Yeah, that's true.
And my mom was telling me,
I actually read about that.
I was like, that's craziness.
Yeah,
this kid froze.
Yeah,
My
It's
question.
so cold up there.
I'm
My
surprised he
question
didn't
is-
die from oxygen altitude.
My question is, how did he run and catch up to the plane?
Those Indians, man, they're so thin. Yeah, I don't know. Just run like the wind, dude.
It's got like no wind resistance.
No
It's just-
resistance. If you're hungry as hell, you gotta run, son. Anyway, moving on. Overwatch has a new character added, and her name is Sombra. She's not named after the hummus, and she's an infiltrator.
Sounds like a hummus.
The hummus is so good, though.
Sombra hummus, so good. But yeah, isn't Sombra mean the shade?
Sombra.
Yeah, I mean shade, right?
Yeah.
So basically, she's named Shade.
She's so shady.
Yeah, she's also she's an infiltrator class. So I think she's a hacker as well. So what do you think?
I don't like her.
It's
Why?
a girl, yay.
The introduction to the. Go ahead.
No, that's all I had
That's
to
all
say.
she had.
That's all I got.
I'm disappointed by the lack of her butt. There's less emphasis on her butt.
You know they're
the
like
other characters.
just fake characters, right?
You know that's on purpose because Widowmaker wins that, but just by far.
Of course.
Of course, that's the reason.
Well,
They don't want to. They don't want to
spiders,
like
big
change the
butts.
meta.
Well, all of them have good butts, didn't they?
No, spiders.
Winston
have
has
big
the
butts.
best butt.
Do their butts lie?
Winston.
Winston has the best butt.
Question here.
Why are you guys talking about butts?
Because butts is the world.
Because Overwatch and butts.
Because everybody has one.
That's true. Or do.
So if you gave Tracer like food,
Everything has one, actually.
do you remember Tracer, the one that goes back in time?
And then she traces back.
does she get the food back in her hand? Like she
I-
eats it and then she goes, and does the food come
I'd
back?
assume so. So she's like the
crazy as
ultimate.
So you're saying she
what do they
could
call
eat
it?
like a chip and then just keep eating it over and over until
Yeah.
she's full?
Technically, she will never be full because if she goes in the future, she's only one chip.
That's like
She's
torture.
the ultimate
It's all
anorexic,
about
right?
basically. She gets to eat the same chip. She just gets a flavor constantly, but not full.
Does that count as bulimia if she goes back?
Technically,
So-
Technically.
That'd be awesome.
if you want to get really weird with it, you can get really weird with it. I'm just gonna say
But
something.
you gotta eat that.
We
ice
haven't
cream
gotten
really
there
fast. You have to get the ice cream really fast though, because you can only go back like 15 seconds. What is it?
Yeah,
10 seconds.
I think it's 15
seconds?
seconds or 10 seconds or something like that. You can only go back so far.
One
so
What?
if I
No,
say
I'm so
The
confused.
the ability of her to go back is only like 10 seconds. She
Wait,
can only go
how
back
the hell did we get onto this?
Sombra.
Sombra, because
Sombra.
Tracer is a character in the game that can go back in time.
Right.
She's a British character. She has a good-looking butt, but it's not the best
Well,
looking
Sama's
butt.
wearing a jacket, isn't she? Like a trench coat thing the whole time?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so how do you know she don't have a good butt? She could have a secret butt.
Because everyone once the
I'll look it
game
up right now, Sombra. But
once the game came out, the first time the game came out, they freaking released all the models for the game so that anybody can pick up the models and use them for whatever they wanted.
Oh, yeah, didn't
Cosplay.
somebody make a porn out of that
Yeah,
shit?
and people made porn
It's
out
for
of it right
cosplay.
away.
It's for cosplay reasons.
Somebody made a
Come on, man.
porn.
Come on.
Straight porn.
Straight porn.
Talking about porn, what happens if you're having sexual relations with Tracer and you accidentally do the thing inside of it and then she goes back in time? She's like, it's all good.
Best sexual partner ever.
Sorry, Ellie. We apologize.
what if she got stuck in a loop?
A constant
Best
orgasm
sexual- Best sexual partner ever.
until you pass out.
Yeah, well, you don't have to keep. You don't have to keep going. You're
Please
done.
cut that out.
You're done. But she's not. She's like, hey, it's okay. I can fix it. Everything's fine. Going on.
Be like the best.
Will, have you looked up the butts yet or not?
I can't see it. There's no somber butt.
All right, then we're moving on. Ghost in the Shell has an official teaser release. How do you guys feel Scarlett Johansson will fit in this role?
You mean Black Widow?
Oh, dang. Black Widow 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it
Hacker
looks-
Black Widow.
That, or what was that one movie she played in where she had like superpowers and
Lucy.
shit? Lucy. Yeah, it looks like that shit too.
Lost in translation.
Lost in Translation. She didn't have superpowers in that movie.
No, she's like the same.
One of my
character.
favorite movies, though.
She's like the same fucking character.
What was the other movie? She was like an alien. Is it Under the Skin? She was like an alien. I think she's good in like shady kind of like.
Was that
Dark characters.
Species or something?
I don't think it was Species. I think it's something called Under the Skin.
No,
I'm not sure.
She
We
would
can look
make,
it up.
she would make an excellent female James Bond.
You think they're just gonna make a female James Bond for
That
a
would be
black
cool.
one?
I think that would be cool.
I think there'll be a black James Bond first.
Can you imagine what a female James Bond? That'd be kind of
Under the
badass.
Skin. Yeah, it's under the
I have to
skin.
see that.
So first you would see, just like the president went, there was no woman president before a black president. So I think it's going to be a black James
Alright.
Bond before a woman James
Well,
Bond.
we don't even know, but we'll see.
Plus, it won't work with a woman James Bond. You can't just go around banging guys like that.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah, you're right. It could happen.
Yeah, it could happen. She'd be like, yeah, I need some information. Let me suck your dick.
All right. No more.
Ghost in the Shell is a pretty popular.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
I don't know why.
Booyakasha.
Ghost in the Shell is a pretty popular anime, and I never got into it. It just seemed too boring to me.
Too slow.
Yeah, but they had some interesting aspects in there. Like there was a smiling man, like he was a guy that would always be doing stuff and infiltrate things.
What was he doing?
And and whenever he shows up in cameras and things, he would have like a sensor over his head and it'd be like a smiley face. That's why they called him the smiling.
I think he was the guy with the gun, right?
What
In the trailer.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know.
Oh.
That guy was smiling.
So he didn't have a smiley face over his head, but there's interesting aspects to it. So I hope they pull it off and make it interesting.
I think there was some.
Enjoy it.
Wasn't there a controversy that they didn't use an Asian character for this movie instead they used Scarlett? Wasn't that the controversy they were getting pissed off about?
They all look like they're white in the TV
That's
show.
the same
anyway.
I know.
controversy they used for Doctor Strange.
Exactly. I was going to bring it up. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
whitewashing of Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about that earlier, but we'll talk about why they didn't use it when I talk about it. So we'll see what happens there. Whoa! Here comes one of my favorite ones. Starship Troopers is getting a reboot, heading for back to original militaristic novel. I love Starship Troopers, though it was a terrible movie. It was also great.
I loved it too. The sequel sucked. I hope this is better.
Sequels, there were multiple ones, weren't they?
Yes.
All of them were so bad. One was basically a porn.
I didn't even bother watching any of them.
If you watch 3, it's porn. Straight porn. There was like super sex like every few minutes.
Like bug sex?
No. If there was bug sex, I would watch it.
Does the brain bug actually get something going on? With the...
No. That'd be really
He
funny.
just straight up said, yeah, if there was butt sex. Or
Bug
Bug sex.
Ew!
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
That's what the brain bug said.
That's what the brain bug took over Tommy. All right, so here we go. Apple has cut USB-C adapter prices in the response to the MacBook Pro complaints. What do you think?
Yay.
I think it's good for consumers because a lot of third-party stuff is crap, and Apple doesn't officially support it, so it's good for the consumer. But it shouldn't have been inflated price anyway. I read a lot of negative things about the USB-C ports, like it breaks like the actual software when you start using it for like multiple displays and things like that.
It breaks the software? I mean, OS X?
Yeah, like it runs slower.
OS?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's really bad design. Why have one port do everything if it breaks your software?
I'm hearing more and more people are really excited about the Surface Pro design. Big thing.
Yeah, Microsoft is doing a lot of good stuff.
Right.
Apple's got to step their game up.
Yeah. What did they do? What was this thing they put on their MacBook Pro? It's like a weird little live touchscreen.
Yeah, they're basically doing everything they can not to have a touchscreen. It's dumb. Just make your fucking screen a touchscreen.
It's so
Just do
stupid.
An iPad.
Yeah, there's an iPad for that.
I know, but they can make an iPad that is a MacBook Pro or something like that. Attaches to the base.
Isn't the top part of the MacBook basically an iPad? Just put a touchscreen capability and you're ready to roll?
Yeah, just take that iPad Pro, make it so it has a detachable keyboard and folds out, and like basically the Surface Pro.
You mean what they already have, so therefore they would make no additional sales? That's why they're not doing it.
The problem
It's
is
not made to be like a laptop, though. It's not made to like look like and function like a laptop. It's just basically a pad, just like the iPad.
they're going to lose a lot. They're going to lose a lot of money if they don't start to pull
Basically,
their
it doesn't
customers
have
back.
open. It doesn't have
What they
open
need
software.
is hologram computers.
They need open software that doesn't just take.
That's
the
never gonna happen.
Lightning.
They're never gonna open that shit.
They have OS X. All they need to do is take OS X, make a touchscreen interface.
Yeah, but they're never gonna take their pride and joys and make them all open source.
I see.
Hell, fucking no.
As soon as Microsoft starts gaining traction, we'll see how it goes.
Microsoft is that design thing is really pushing the game though. That design with that weird knob they put on it.
That was cool.
They can help you go in
Yeah,
three dimensional
I want
space.
extra
one.
tools.
So what do you think about the Mac OS, the new MacBook Pro, Ellie? Do you want one?
No.
What do you
I
want?
want the other one with the knob thing.
The Surface.
See, that's where all the artists are going.
Yeah, because it's almost like an alternative to a Cintiq.
What's a
And
Cintiq?
A Cintiq is just like a giant tablet that gives a lot of control to draw digitally on an actual like surface. So it's like you still need the computer, but
It'd be cool if they
Yeah,
had like an
giant
like an
screen.
eraser like that, so like you could draw with your right, your right hand or left or whatever, and then you could just wipe it with the eraser like a dry erase board.
I think you can do that now, but I think
But don't you have to like change the setting on the pen itself to do that?
the knob
Imagine having two.
No.
the knob is
Switch.
cool because it can give you like that three-dimensional feel, like going forward and you're
Change
drawing
the color
faster.
real quick.
yeah.
Maybe it's to
Yeah.
just help with the settings
I think it's for what it is. It's
or zooming in and out.
It's for zooming in and out, and
Just
it's also for
multiple
going
tools.
backwards and forwards in time.
So you don't have to keep clicking on the screen to zoom
Yep.
in and zoom out. Yeah, that's
Well,
actually a
see.
really smart idea.
I think Apple.
I'm
needs
glad I came
to-
up with it. I'm just kidding.
My problem here with Apple is becoming like their 1984 commercial.
They're becoming fashion accessories more than
Yeah.
anything. I think the creatives are starting to lean back more towards.
It's because the
Things
creators
like
die with
Microsoft.
jobs.
Yeah,
The
but
Microsoft-
don't you think it's becoming like their 1984 commercial where they said don't follow the big corporate and then they threw the hammer into it?
Yeah, they're becoming that.
Yeah,
Corporation.
they're becoming that corporate, so they need to watch out what they're doing.
They're becoming the Louis Vuitton of the computer industry.
Did you just say that?
Vuitton?
Yeah,
How do you know? How did you compare that? How did you come to that?
because they're a fashion accessory.
But there's so many. Okay.
What? Finish your idea. I want to hear it.
I don't know. I just found it weird how it was Louis Vuitton. Why not Dooney and Burke? I feel like that one's more.
Because Dooney and Burke is not as expensive as Louis Vuitton. Do you know how much like it costs to get like a scarf in there?
Where?
Have you actually gone scarf shopping, Will, in Louis Vuitton store?
No.
How do you know?
There's a meme of this black guy going in there and it said Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton. He goes in there and he tries to look at this tie and it says $300 and he's like, nope, and then walks out.
It's stupid.
It was
But
on Vine.
it's a sad day because Apple used to be the big player when they did that iPod. Let's see what's going on now. HTC promises Vive arcades in China and the US and Europe. Imagine a room in which you have physical cover that is also one-in-one in VR.
That's cool.
What does that mean?
So
In English?
like you have the VR headset on your head, right?
Okay.
And in the VR headset, you look in front of you, you have a stack of sandbags in front of you. That's your cover from whatever is shooting you, right? You can actually like lean down and touch those sandbags because they're actually physically there. So you're in a room that's actually one-to-one to what you see in the VR headset, with the exception of the things that are moving around.
Is it like, okay, so when you see in the VR, is it incorporating what you're actually seeing and then just putting like a backdrop, or is it like animated sandbags, like a game style?
Well, no, it's an arcade, so they're not going to go over the top and like be able to have an update like that intense. Maybe they will, I don't know. But the pictures they just show a stack of sandbags and some other things like, like barrels and things like that just sitting there. So, and he's shooting with the headset on, meaning this is actual cover that's showing up in the game, and you can actually touch it. You can take leaning behind it, touch it, and he knows it's there, and it's actually there in the game. So it's kind of very immersive, I think.
So like the character model, for example, when you touch whatever is actually in the room, the character model touches the sandbag. For example, what it shows in the VR.
We have to have the controller in your hand.
Right. We have to.
But yeah, so you, like if you bang your gun against the barrel, bang it in real life too.
That's fantastic.
It's cool, but also very dangerous.
It's like,
imagine if Tommy was standing
burning
there
his brain
in the
right now.
room and he acted like the barrel and you hit him and he would be super angry. Attempting to
Did you
scare-
just make me an angry bird?
Because you like them piggies.
BlizzCon news.
All right, so we're going to talk about BlizzCon news. So we're going to let Pedram do that because Pedram was the big BlizzCon guy. Here we go.
So, BlizzCon 2016 happened this Friday over the weekend, and unfortunately, I did not get the virtual ticket to be able to attend BlizzCon, but I did follow it up pretty closely.
yep.
There was no like super huge announcements, but there were major releases for like the biggest franchises. Overwatch, we went through it. Sombra was announced.
Yep.
People loved it. So that was pretty awesome.
So I think Sombra was the first one to be announced only at BlizzCon, right? Everyone else was just being announced like through game updates. Am I right? Like just said, oh yeah, we're gonna announce someone's mom, who's the one that came out lately.
They teased her beforehand.
Did they? Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was I think people were waiting for it, and then when it was finally announced at BlizzCon, it was received very, very widely, and it was awesome.
The hacker.
I personally like the when they showed was it Bastion or what was the robot?
Bastion.
Yeah, that one. That one was cool. Release.
That was a
this
really
one was
good
like
short.
I was getting bored. I was like, okay, where's this going?
Yeah, that's like the best short of all the shorts that they released for Overwatch so far. The robot.
Yeah, I know.
With
With the bird.
Yeah.
A lot of people like
Sad.
Bastion, I think.
Yeah, Bastion's pretty popular.
Except in the actual game.
Why is that? I haven't played enough of it. Why do people not like him?
Because he's a cheap character to play with.
People are getting desperate when everybody's choosing Bastion.
You're basically a walking machine gun.
You're like a turret. You can walk into a spot and become a turret, and then you like kill everybody with a
But
turret.
I'm sure there's a weak spot, right?
The weak spot is he doesn't take that much damage before like falls apart. But if you get like multiple players that are all Bastion, it's annoying.
Basically, Bastion is low health, but he can also heal himself.
He can heal himself.
So, like, if you ran around, you're like, okay, I'm gonna repair myself for a few minutes, and I'll come back and then set my turret up.
So he has low health, but he deals a lot of damage, and he can heal himself.
Literally a glass cannon.
Yeah. So basically, people use him on all defense maps usually.
Yeah, very desperate.
So yeah.
So-
What else we had?
Moving on from Overwatch, there was a good amount of announcements for Diablo 3.
Yes.
It was a little
Yes.
disappointing because of
What?
everyone. Hold on. Everyone was hoping for a Diablo 4 announcement,
That's true.
but that didn't come.
Oh, yeah.
So
But they also did not announce an expansion, which means that they might be working on a Diablo 4.
which we're gonna get into a little bit. I know Tommy's like super excited right now because there's
yes,
like
I
a
am.
glimmer of hope. Well, we'll get there. They didn't announce the expansion, but what they did announce was there's this new thing that's going to be coming up is character packs,
Oh,
which
wow.
is going to be debuted with necromancers.
Oh, really?
So necromancers are back.
Yeah, we saw the Necromancer. It looked pretty cool. Pretty cool character.
That was my favorite character playing in Diablo 2 because he had so much versatility. But I mean, when this character released, a lot of people are saying, okay, so you got this character coming, but what's the difference between the Necromancer and the Witch Doctor? Because as people who played Diablo 3 know, the Witch Doctor raises, zombies and shit, and makes a zombie wall and has curses and shit, which is technically what the Necromancer was known for. According to some of the designers, it's actually going to be a little different, right? It's going to be focused, the Necromancer is supposed to focus more on blood and bone stuff, whereas, like, for example, it's not going to be in the realm of zombies and curses more so like it was in the past, but it's going to go more towards bone abilities, blood abilities. They actually showcased a couple during the review.
of it doing some
Yeah, like there was
ability.
one cool ability, Blood Siphon, where it would just like almost look like it's pulling its soul from the enemy, but it's pulling blood from it and it's taking into itself and healing himself.
Basically like a potion, right? One of those blood potions.
But it just looks cooler the way.
Yeah, that is a fantastic ability.
That's cool. That's a good way of like helping yourself. But can you do it to other players? You think?
Probably in PvP style. I don't see why not.
No, I'm not pulling from them, but giving them health.
Probably not.
It's only for yourself, right?
Usually, necromancer
Yeah.
skill sets are usually very selfish.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
But I tell you right now, like the one big difference that I saw, because when you play in Diablo 2, when you have skeleton army, they fight whatever. And if you saw like a big baddie, you pretty much you're like, I hope they fuck him up,
Yeah,
because they go all over the place. With this one though, they are making it so you can actually command them, so you can leave them alone and they'll randomly attack, but then all of a sudden you see like the big boss come out, you can actually make them all attack the big boss immediately. They'll just switch from the random targets to the one you want.
It's like basically really cat and father for you anyway, because you need to be like on the back as a necromancer.
Yeah,
not really
shooting, you're casting stuff while they're defending. I just hope they bring some of the old classic moves back, like the bone wall and bone prison. That was like one of the cool facts, like playing a necromancer, where you could just build like a bone wall in front of you, hide behind it, shoot spears while your army's destroying them. So like if something was to come towards you, you had your little barrier to keep you separate. It was nice.
I forgot that the witch doctor created a wall.
Yeah, zombie wall.
If he does, I doubt they will. Maybe they'll have like
they might, just to make it a wall.
It looked like maybe he had like a bone spike thing in the CG trailer. Maybe he'll have a bone spike around him.
Maybe.
That's
they had that before. There was the bone prison where you could basically make like coming around you. There was also like armor that like your whole body would be encased. There's actually 3 armor sets that's supposed to come out for the necromancer. Right?
I don't understand this though. So you're getting the character, but what other content's coming out with it? Just
So that's a perfect segue. With the release and the announcement of the necromancer, Blizzard basically announced that they are remaking the original Diablo in Diablo 3.
Yep.
It's not a remaster. It's not nothing like that.
It's pixelated and everything.
You can have it as pixelated. You have the option of making it pixelated.
Oh, okay, well, perfect.
But it's going to be a dungeon. It's a 16-level dungeon that's basically going through the same story as Diablo 1. And
with
all the baddies. And they're limiting the movement to the classic 8-direction movement that was in Diablo 1.
But you can use your current characters in it. So like Demon Hunter in Diablo.
Will you have the same bosses and stuff, like the Butcher and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm totally in because I loved the original Diablo. I like played it so many
Will you
times.
be able to dupe?
I did that a lot too.
I don't think so.
I did it a lot and I got yelled at for doing it.
I remember doing it in the main common area in the town hall, and people were like, "Excuse me, no dupe."
I used to dupe a lot.
Yeah, same. But people were like, "How you teleport everywhere? You're teleporting through all the levels." So I don't know. I just have a lot of potions.
I love the teleporting ability. That was crazy.
Cheater.
You remember that Enigma armor that you could put on any like goddamn character and you could teleport?
Oh
Will?
No, I don't remember.
No, I don't remember.
Oh wow, no fans here, huh?
Well, the good thing about that is that the original Diablo experience will be available for PTR this week, so you can actually get on PTR. And
Why would they limit the movement though? That doesn't make sense. To me.
Because that's how it was in the original game.
But
so
why?
they want you to feel it like how it was.
If they're redoing it, why do that?
Just to have that original feel, because they are giving you the option of going pixelated exactly like how it was. Okay. So they're going to give you that.
I guess going back to pixelated, you wouldn't want it to be going everywhere. So I see.
Exactly.
Right.
There was no 360 view back in the day.
So that's pretty cool though. That's awesome.
Wait, it's what they're doing for their 25th. Is it 25th anniversary
for
Diablo?
For Diablo.
Yeah.
Is it 25 years old?
25 years old.
Yeah, I believe.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was playing it when I was in like 6th grade.
Dude, 25 years old?
I'll tell you right now. Yeah,
I'm 28, son.
I promise you, that's what they were telling.
Blizzard
20th, sorry, 20th.
Yeah, 20th is.
I knew it was 20 something.
Yeah, because I said I was playing when I was 8, so I remember.
Oh, and so apparently it's a limited time event.
Oh,
it's not a.
That makes it better. That's even better.
They did not say that.
That's better that if it's limited, because then it makes it so that really hardcore will play.
I might play it because I never played the original Diablo. I started from Diablo 2.
Are you
what was
kidding
this
me?
business you're like talking about? Do you remember this?
That was all Diablo 2.
I was talking about Diablo 1.
Yeah, we were talking about Diablo 1.
Dude, nobody played it.
Oh my god. Nobody. That's why nobody remembered that.
Diablo 2 was better than Diablo 1.
Diablo 1 is the ridge.
No shit, that's why it's Diablo 1.
When you're scared as hell is when the butcher came out and he was scary as hell.
Fresh meat.
Yeah. He scared the F out of me. I couldn't even play him sometimes.
You can get the butcher's cleaver.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a transmog.
When I played Diablo 2, I loved it, but
Diablo 2 was amazing.
Diablo
2 was
1
pretty good,
was
man.
just...
Dude, Diablo 2 was
First of
so
it,
good
like,
that I
yeah.
actually ended up buying multiple fucking copies of the game because back then they used to have CD keys just so that you would have multiple characters to store extra shit. Because there's so much gear that you could
What's
get.
wrong with you?
It was so good. Our parents bought it.
Diablo 1 was before CD keys, so you could burn
Yeah.
as many as you want. And play whatever.
Diablo 1 is whenever you could dupe, and it was a little complicated.
You
and
could
I
do it
remember,
in Diablo 2 as well.
Yeah, but in Diablo 1, when you duped stuff, sometimes you would tell people, "Hey, you got that cool sword?" And then they would be like, "Yeah, I'll dupe it for you." And just take it and you run away.
You know what's something that was really popular we used to do, because you know how you could duel outside of the town, right? So we would have let's say you'd alley up with a paladin, and then you go to like a random game, and you would tell people, hey, I'll duel you, whatever. So that guy leads them all out. You come outside for a second, you bone wall the entrance, and so then you step back inside. Or no, you bone wall and then you kind of teleport off. So when they're getting damaged, the only way for them to survive is to get back in town. But it's closed, so they all died immediately. And when you die in Diablo, you drop all your gold or whatever's on you.
Yeah.
And you just jack all of it. We did that to so many people.
Did they have ears in Diablo 2? I don't remember.
Yes, there was ears.
Oh my god.
That was your trophy. So you know.
I'm
who
now
you
collecting
killed.
a bunch of ears.
I had so many ears. It was nuts.
Awesome. And
What else news?
there was also one more thing they announced for Diablo was armories. So you can have armories now. So just like WoW armory, you can have a Diablo armory now. That's also been
sweet.
released, yeah.
The new the armor sets for the Necromancer looks crazy. Like there's one that's like kind of like a robe looking kind of scholarship style, but then the blood one looks creepy as fuck. It's like apparently it has a heart on it and it's like pumping blood through the armor that you can see.
Really?
Yeah.
So like
It's
one of
really
those scream
intense.
masks from Halloween.
Yeah, essentially that.
It's pretty cool. That's awesome. I like that kind of like extra work.
So there are. Well, we have 3 things left. 2 of them I don't really care about, but let's talk about them anyway. It's Heroes of the Storm. They announced 2 iconic characters that's going to be released. One of them is may God, bless his soul, Varian Rim. He is going to be a playable character.
Isn't that from the WoW? game?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he's
one that
the
was
king
in
of
the-
Azeroth.
King of Azeroth.
Wasn't he the one that was in the trailer, the last trailer?
Yes.
There you go. Just for everyone that I knew who he was. I just want to get it for our listeners out there. Just so you want to know, watch the trailer for WoW, the last WoW expansion. He's there. He's the one on that floating whatever thing it was.
The floating boat.
Floating boat.
Yeah. So go ahead.
And Ragnaros the Elemental King, I believe.
It's a
Oh,
giant
it's a
rock
giant
monster
rock.
thing,
Yeah.
right?
It's on
With
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, man, watching this
He
necromancer
was-
is sweet.
It's so nice. Oh my god, it's hurting me. Like
Look, that's a blood siphon.
yeah, and then they have a new teleport thing, which is like he shoots his blood out of his skin and then he like teleports. So that's a new thing I've never seen before. That's fucking sick. See how they all just ganged up on one guy? Look at that. You couldn't do that before.
Damn. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
And
Does any of this
Ragnarok.
come into consoles?
What was that?
Does the Necromancer come into consoles or just PC?
They
I think
did
it's
not.
just-
I
think it's just PC.
They didn't announce if the character pack was going to be exclusive to PC, but one can assume
Who
that it's going
cares?
to be
You want to
released.
play it on PC.
You do want to play it on PC. It's
You
much
do, but I know some people that are very anti.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are anti-PC, so I know that. And
We
I-
are from the Master Race. We
PC Master Race. So Hearthstone, it's for those who are not familiar with what Hearthstone is just like trading the cards game, just like Magic the Gathering, and they are releasing an expansion, and they're releasing 132 new cards
God damn.
early December.
More cards?
More cards, 3 cities, and 3 factions.
Wow.
And there's going to be available early December.
You ever play Hearthstone?
Yeah, I did. I played it. And then all I remember is that I'd have to, when you play with people that are like pro players, you need to buy cards. Because if you don't buy cards,
It's because they started from the beginning and they got all the like cool shit from the expansions that you can no longer get, and so.
But don't you have to pay for the expansions?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there you go. I don't have time for that. And is anything I have to pay $4.99 to play the next level? Excuse me.
You don't have to, but if you want better shit, yeah, there you go.
Okay, yeah, it's true.
That's how they make their money.
I think Hearthstone's a great game, though. Hearthstone is the lead.
It's like it reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh a lot.
It's the. I don't think it's the original battle game, but I think it's the first of the generation where you play it on the computer or the PlayStation. I mean, PlayStation or a computer or your iPad.
It's most popular because you can play it on your phone. So like, you could be anywhere, sitting in an airport lobby, and you can be playing it.
Oh
Yes.
man, I need to get on Gwent. Totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm on the beta. I'm on the beta. I haven't touched it.
We'll see what happens.
What else we got?
And pretty much the last major thing they talked about at BlizzCon was they, basically kept the best for last is WoW Legion, the very popular expansion that came out in, I want to say August, late August, and they already announced that they're going to be releasing, major patch updates coming up. New raids. The next raid that's coming out is actually tomorrow. There's a raid coming out, and
Damn, spring done.
yeah, it's very. They're doing very well. They've learned and doing very well with their patch updates.
Wow, that's a crazy thing to do. Do BlizzCon, and the day after that, you're like, here you go, your brand new exciting raid for you.
Not just that, but then like and then like by the end of the next week, they drop in the Diablo event. So.
Do you remember,
Stepping it up.
Do you remember when we went to PSX and they were like, we got a new raid for you in Destiny where you get to fight the same guy you fought before?
That was a strike.
Well, a strike. But you get to fight the same guy, but he's got more shields. Enjoy.
I don't remember. Were you talking about the PlayStation exclusive one?
Yeah, PlayStation exclusive one.
Yeah, that was dumb. Nobody even played that because it wasn't part of the normal playlist.
Yeah, I was just saying it was pretty funny.
Topic of the week number 1, Doctor Strange.
All right, everybody. So we're going to talk about our topic number 1 of the week. It's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, the movie, which was the newest release in the MCU, Marvel Comic Universe. Let's go ahead and go with that. So what do you guys think about that movie? Let's go with Tommy.
Honestly, I didn't know anything about Doctor Strange until this movie. I had no idea what the hell he did. I thought he was some kind of Dracula guy because of the cape.
And the gray hair on his side.
I thought he honestly reminded me of, what's that guy, Sinister or some shit? I don't know. What
Dr. Sinister from X-Men?
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. I didn't know.
A robot.
So I didn't know what the fuck was going on until I actually saw like the trailer. Even the trailer, I didn't know what was going on. It was not until I actually. In fact, when I saw the trailer, it reminded me a lot of Inception because of the whole world-changing shit. But it wasn't until we saw the movie that I was like, oh, okay, this is actually a pretty cool story. I actually quite liked it a lot. They explain everything really well. They explain how everything happens and why it happens and where it comes from. And, there's nothing that feels like it's a filler. Everything feels like it was meant, like there's a purpose behind every ability, everything they show you. There doesn't seem to be... any kind of randomness in it, and you see like the character development in the story, which is, it flows very naturally, whereas there's a lot of shows and movies where the character development is very choppy. It'll be like really random, like it'll be like one way and then all of a sudden flip the script in another way, like what the fuck, like they can't just jump like that. But this one, you can see it slowly mold into the person at the end of the movie. Obviously it contrasts from the beginning, but you see where the journey is, and it's easy to follow. So I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. I would probably watch it again, even, honestly, and that's saying a lot considering I rarely watch the same movie twice. So it was a good movie. I would definitely recommend it for people. If you're a Marvel fan, if you're any kind of like fantasy kind of movie fan, honestly, this would be a good movie for you.
What did you think about it, Will?
I didn't know much about Doctor Strange either. What I did know was from Spider-Man, because he's teamed up with Spider-Man multiple times to help him out with battling Mistress Web, or whatever her name is. Mm-hmm. The Web Lady.
I think Spider-Man hooks up everybody, but...
Well, he hooked up with Doctor Strange a lot. because that Mistress Webb or whatever her name is like messes with dimensions, and that's right up Doctor Strange's alley. So there was like several episodes in which he teamed up with Doctor Strange on that. But yeah, he did team up with a lot of other people. So I didn't really know Doctor Strange's origin story, but from what they did show, he was kind of like Tony Stark in a lot of ways. He is unlikable, but had some charm to him in the very beginning. And then towards the end, he's kind of like...
Became humble.
He went from being a dick to being humble. Exactly what I'm looking for.
He ate a big piece of humble pie.
I thought the way they did the cape was really clever, and without going into the spoils, it was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
That was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
So going around the table, let's go to Ellie, and then we'll go to you, Pedram.
It's a crown. I have the same boat as William and Tommy. I didn't know anything or much about Doctor Strange. But the whole movie, actually, I liked it a lot. I'm actually going to watch it a second time tomorrow.
Oh, with who?
Nice.
My friend, Shuri.
Oh, one of our contributors. Awesome.
What's that
I've
noise?
always... Oh, sorry. That's sound effects, but it's not working. I mean, I've always been into kind of like that whole spiritual, mystical world, and I think this one, and I mean, without going into being cheesy or like boring, this movie actually did a pretty good job. It actually kept me intrigued the whole time. But yeah, I don't know. Guess I'd covered pretty much everything there. My thoughts.
All right, Pedram, what'd you think?
I had a little previous knowledge of Doctor Strange. I did actually, just like Will, I got introduced to him through Spider-Man, and I think I've never been a big comic book fan. Like, I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I've never, delved into the comic books.
Me neither.
I've done like a lot of research on the character background and the character story, but never through the comic books. But with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and say they nailed the story as regards to the character, the origin story. I'm gonna say this is one of the best origin stories I've ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because in Phase 3, I think in Phase 3 of the MCU, which is what they're in now, they kind of backed away from origin stories, and this is, I think, the last of the origin stories. That, how the Black Panther and Spider-Man is introduced. They kind of like, all right, we're not doing origin stories for these guys. We're just going to introduce them. They're going to play.
Well, even Ant-Man was not really an origin story. The Ant-Man was already there. It was this other guy coming in.
True. Because they started with the second Ant-Man rather than the first one.
Yeah, I think that was that's a Phase 3 character, is them, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Doctor Strange. But Doctor Strange, they wanted that like origin story because his origin story is so unique.
Yeah,
because not many people go from somebody that is technically he doesn't have special powers.
Right. Actually.
He gains them from meditation or whatever it is that he did.
Studying.
Yeah, and studying. So it's just how it is. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Also, I want to touch upon like I'm pretty sure that speaks going through the panel, Doctor Strange is not really a mainstream character. So I would say, just like Guardians of the Galaxy, they did a good thing by doing an origin story on him and not like doing it for Spider-Man, which has been beaten by Bat for a long time. So everybody should at this point know the origin story of Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know. They killed Spider-Man's story with killed it. I mean, everyone knows it already.
Yeah,
it's
Spider-Man's like the equivalent of Batman.
Spider-Man got Spider-Man. Well,
Batman even touched upon his origin story like multiple times.
No, but I mean, like
movie.
as far as I'm talking as far as exposure.
Well, the Batman origin story is important to Batman's psyche, but I think the Spider-Man getting bit by a spider, everyone's like, all right, we got it.
Yeah, got bit by a spider.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Tommy.
No, I forgot.
I was gonna say, in regards to Spider-Man's origin story, probably the moment for him is Uncle Ben. What happens to Uncle Ben?
Right.
Not the spider.
Right, no, I know. But what I meant is like, how does he get his powers?
Right.
Everybody knows it. So they're like, all right, he got his powers from that. But the thing is that when you look at Doctor Strange's, which I want to go back to, is he's super unique that he is someone that went from, this is not a spoiler, it's already in the world of him.
Yeah.
He goes from someone that is just a regular old guy and gains some power. Has nothing to do with him being a special mutant or anything like that. So it's really, really different. So they had to go into it because that's his psyche of his character.
Right.
They had to build that psyche. It's kind of like Batman. Batman's psyche is built based off of his death of his parents. And that's, if you don't talk about that, you don't have Batman.
Well,
oh, that's not a Doctor Strange spoiler. Yeah. If you don't know Batman's parents were killed, then you ain't playing no Batman games or anything.
well, I mean, for Doctor Strange, for right now, what we know is that he's just a normal guy, right? But there was hints that maybe they're not.
What, like, he had a photographic memory and everything like that.
No, but you remember?
Yeah.
Well, this is actually classified as a spoiler, so warning for 30 seconds. You know the part where he's manipulating the green thing around his neck?
Yeah.
You know how he says, like, that's not just photogenic memory. That's you're born for this. So there could be something, because if you think about it, within like a year he's doing this.
How long? They didn't give a timeline. They didn't give us.
No, she said like you've been gone for.
It was like a year.
Yeah, she said you've been gone for a year, and then now he's like on par with the fucking ancient one. So.
Not quite, really, because Ancient One had like a lot more abilities to do with the blast.
Yeah, but he's doing pretty goddamn good for a year.
There was also that clue, like with the cape thing, that it picked you.
Yeah, that thing's really finicky. Is that she said it was like that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
So there could be more than what it seems.
But it's more to than it seems. So let's get into some controversy with this show, the movie. Apparently, if you guys ever read the comics or anything like that, you'll see that the Ancient One's actually an Asian male. Yes. And not a British woman. So the controversy is there.
British?
It doesn't matter anymore.
Or maybe she's not British, she was Scottish, but
I thought she was Asian.
The controversy is there, and people, as you know, all the people in the nerd world always say, hey, you're not following the comics, but it doesn't, to me, I personally,
material.
Who cares?
No, like, hey, the only way you can release a movie now and be safe with everybody is to have a female protagonist. Look at Star Wars. Just kidding.
No, but
Force Awakens, Rogue One.
It's just sticking, in my view, is sticking to the source material. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with equality. It's not. This is not an original character, so it's not being built up and not having equality of people and those things in mind. This is a character that's has a backstory, and I think they need to do justice to the source material by portraying everyone correctly.
Yeah, I agree.
It goes back to the same thing as, I don't want to go off topic to a different movie, but The Last Airbender.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to think of it this way. The reason why they used her and not an Asian male, and I'll tell you one reason. There was a lot of Asian males in this movie. The reason why they didn't put her as an Asian male is because the original Kamaltaj is in Tibet. If you didn't know that, now you know. It's not in the movie. They didn't put Kamaltaj in Tibet. They put it in Nepal. Why they put it in Nepal and not Tibet? Because Tibet in China does not exist. So if you put Tibet in a movie, they cannot put it in the Chinese market. That's why they moved it. And having a Tibetan man as your teacher means that China will not allow you to put that movie in China. You're banned. And you don't want to lose your movie in the biggest market in movies now, which is China. So that's why they did all those changes. And instead of saying, hey, let's put an Asian guy in it, let's put a woman, like William said. Let's put a lady that's British in there, and we'll have her be a powerful character, and it'll be fun, and it'll be different.
More than she seems. That's even part of the story.
That is actually, that's a good point to make.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. Original Kamaltaj was in Tibet, and Tibet in China does not exist. They're going to get pissed, and they're going to be like, why are you talking about Tibet in your movie? Are you making a political statement? You are not allowed to show your movie in our market. It's 1 billion people that cannot watch your movie. They don't want that. So that's why they did what they did. That's what I think. At least that's what I think they did what they did.
They can always use someone else from a different background, though.
Right, they can if they want to make their movie. And I think they did that with Civil War. in Civil War, I think they added an extra scene in the movie where 2 Chinese doctors come in, and that was released just for the Chinese market, and they're like talking to somebody, one of the characters. It's really weird, but that's what's happening.
That's really weird that they're adding scenes for China.
I think my personal beliefs, I didn't go into what I think about the movie. I think the movie was great. I want to watch it again, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's one of the better Marvel movies.
This movie has given me a lot more appreciation for Doctor Strange as a character. I actually looked up some of his origin, and he apparently is really popular in the LSD era. That's why things were so trippy. There's how when he was hopping on those things, when it was in that part of the universe that was different. I'll just, without going into spoilers, that was straight from pages in the comic book, except they were colored differently. It was really cool. He actually went to Alice in Wonderland twice, and talked to a caterpillar, a smoking caterpillar, which was another character just appearing as the caterpillar.
Yeah, I think he was important. He was important, and then I think they made the character after Vincent Price. One of his characters, I think back, he did a movie where he was a sorcerer or something, and they just copied it because he looks exactly like that sorcerer. So I think they were trying to be goofy, and they're like, all right, let's make a goofy magic. It's the first character in the MCU that is all magic. Yeah, Thor has magic in him, but it's not a lot of magic. It's more hey, here's a hammer that this guy can carry because he's really strong.
Yeah. I think it gives him cooler abilities, honestly. I mean, you have the relics that they talk about, and that gives you a whole different... I mean, for all we know, the Thor's hammer could be a relic.
True. Could be.
Yeah.
So, going into that, talking about relics and talking about stones... let's talk about the Infinity Gems or Infinity Stones. Not gems, but stones. So we get to see a new Infinity Stone in this movie. I know we can bring it out. It's if you don't want to hear it, it's a little bit of a spoiler. It's the Eye of Agamotto, which is something that you see Doctor Strange wear in the comics. He kind of wears it from time to time. It's like a little chest necklace.
It's on his chest a lot.
Yeah.
Then you see it there, and you're
it's
like,
a
oh,
Tony
that's so
Stark.
cool.
It's like a Tony Stark thing.
So you get to see that. And in other movies, they've been releasing stones, yet you may have not known they were stones or gems or whatever you want to call them. So, Pedram, do you want to go into it since you were so excited about stones?
Yeah.
Do you want to go over which stones are which?
Actually, yeah. And before we go into it, I was super excited that in the movie theater, I was counting. Me and Solar were actually counting. Oh, how many do we have? How many do we have? So let's take it back, and let's start pretty much from the first one they talked about, which was the Tesseract. We know it as a Tesseract. It is the Space Stone, which pretty much as we see, it opens portals, and they use it in Avengers for opening portals and such. And then the second one, we have the Mind Stone, and appeared also in Avengers, Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, and Civil War. It's the stone used on Vision's forehead, which came from the Chitauri Scepter.
Which is the one that, I think, what's that? The Thor's
also,
brother?
Loki, yeah.
Loki's scepter had. Yeah.
That's the Chitauri Scepter that he used to control people. And then the third stone is the Reality Stone, and also known as the Ether from the Dark World. And that was in
Thor.
the Collector's Museum also, from the Thor movie.
The Collector?
Yeah.
But that was in the Thor movie.
That was in a Thor movie,
and then he comes back in the Guardians of the Galaxy, which he wants another stone, which is...
Which is the Power Stone.
Yep.
From Guardians of the Galaxy.
And it's the big purple orb, right?
Yes. And then now, finally, we have the Time Stone, which is Eye of Agamotto.
Yep. And it's in the Kamaltaj library.
Kamaltaj, yeah.
And then the last stone, which we don't know who's going to have what, and we're guesstimating it's probably either going to be in Spider-Man, personally, or some other movie, is going to be the Soul Stone.
Soul Stone.
And if you don't know what these stones do, they go into the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yes.
Gauntlets, I guess.
Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet. One Gauntlet. That, what's his name wears? I forgot his name. Oh my God.
Thanos has it right now.
That's insane, though. All that power in one gauntlet.
Right.
Shit.
So he has the gauntlet, not the stones, because let's go back over this because didn't go over it. The Space Stone is in Asgard. The Mind Stone is on Earth. Vision has it. The Reality Stone, the Collector has it. The Power Stone is in Xandar, where the final scene of Guardian Galaxy was on the Nova Corp vault, and the Time Stone is in Kamartaj.
So they're all under control. So
Pretty much.
So one of the movies, once I think Infinity Wars comes out, which is the final of this, will be for this MCU universe. I think that will be pretty much end an MCU universe, and then reboot will happen. You're going to see the Infinity Stones get probably taken up and put in a gauntlet, and you're going to see a big war. So that sounds like fun. I think Doctor Strange earns his place. I think Benedict Cumberbatch, personally, I was great about the stones. Honestly, that brings up a lot of things. People have been counting these stones and making things up since the beginning of this, and I think it's great. The stones have finally been named and stuff like that. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did justice to this character.
Yeah.
I think so too.
They also changed the movie's release date for him. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
It was supposed to come out in July 2016, and because he had a previous engagement to play Hamlet in a play,
right.
they said that we'll release it a couple months later, so we released it in November, which is ridiculous because November's a terrible month for movies.
Right.
But it was a smart
just
move.
for them.
That was a smart move.
Just for him.
It was a smart move because now he's the main talk about, right? If they dropped him in July, they had all those other movies dropping in, and it kind of gets kind of washed away in the amount of blockbuster movies coming out. But like this is like a standalone powerhouse.
Well, this isn't like Star Wars. It's more of a risk.
No, it's not.
It may have made
Doctor
more.
Strange,
Doctor
especially
Strange is
with
not.
Benedict Cumberbatch, everyone goes nuts over.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
After Khan and Sherlock and all this shit.
Not a
he's
mainstream
done.
character.
not a lot of people know Doctor Strange is.
He's got pull now.
But he's got pull.
It was
But
kind of like Ant-Man.
I
a lot of people
agree.
loved Ant-Man, but didn't know until it was released.
Yes, I don't think that a lot of people are going to go see this movie
Well, now-
comparative to like Iron Man, because Iron Man's got that Robert Downey Jr. fun leveling stuff.
But you got to remember now, after all these Avenger movies, after all the stuff that's going on, any Marvel movie at this point, people are going to go see it because they think, all right, it must be something similar. You're going to see multiple superheroes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though, because November is a painful month to release movies because a lot of people are either saving money for the holidays.
Well, that's what they did in the beginning of November, though.
I think they
didn't do it
I
in the
think
end.
if they did in July, you could have made a lot more money. You got all those teens, you got none of those kids going to school, you got none of that stuff.
Maybe.
The biggest problem, no, it's not a maybe, it's a yes.
No, it's maybe.
No, it's not a maybe, it's a yes.
Maybe. It's maybe.
So
It's maybe.
they released the movie for him, they changed the release date. So I think that's a real big pull. They were going to put Joaquin Phoenix as this character.
Right, yes.
Yeah, and Joaquin
That's a
Phoenix
good-
says, hey man, I can't do multiple movies. I only got one movie in me. I do a lot of drugs. I can't do more than that. Just kidding. That's not why. He only want to do one movie, and they said it's a multi-picture deal because he's going to have to do Infinity Wars and other movies.
Yay.
So Benedict Cumberbatch always plays a good, smart person, right? He's in Sherlock. He's like, yeah, I'm really smart. I'm Khan. I'm really smart. And now he's Doctor Strange. I'm really smart. So
Well, his character is a lot different than the other characters, though. Like Sherlock Holmes and Khan were a lot different, like the way they spoke. This is like a lot more normal American accent than anything he's really been
It was,
mainstream for him before.
It was kind of a... Again, I don't want to go too much deep into it, but kind of reminded me of how he spoke. Accents. Same.
yeah. He's trying to go
Kind of like... I kind of like... If I could like close my eyes and just listen to him, I would think it was Hugh Laurie just talking. Accents were really similar.
I think he was going for something like that, trying to go after that. But I think, overall, he did a great job in that role. He owned it, and he did a good job. And I give this movie a great rating. We can go into the ratings now if you guys want. So let's go with Ellie first.
We can hit the box office as well. Get the numbers
give me
here.
the numbers
Box
for the box
office.
Box office numbers. About for the opening weekend, 86 million.
Wow.
86
86
million
million is not bad.
in November.
Not
What was the
bad.
budget for this?
Budget. I have to look into it.
I'm sure it's up to like.
It's better than it's better than the first Captain America movie. It's better. That one was not good. It was better than
And Kubo.
$165 million
Poor
budget.
Kubo.
Watch Kubo.
It's gonna break it in the 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, shit, 85 just this weekend.
Yeah.
It's already half.
Well, that's in the U.S. market only.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, 130.
I think this is
3
gonna.
million
I think this is gonna explode in Asia.
total.
It's gonna do well. I think that you're gonna have they're gonna have to go look through it with a little bit of a fine-tooth comb for the Chinese market. We'll see what happens. All right, Ellie, you awake?
8.5.
8.5 out of
9.
9. What?
The hell is going on here?
No,
All
8.5 is fair. No, 9. I would give it a 9.
A 9.
It would be
9 what?
a 9 out of 10, but 9
9 out
out
of 10
of
what?
9 out of 10. 9.
All right, 9 out of 10.
You got that.
And why do you
9
think?
out of
Why do you think a
10.
9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 is pretty high.
I liked everything about it. I loved the movie. It was entertaining from beginning to end. There was nothing really much to get confused about. I'm watching it a second time and see if anything clears up a bit more. But I don't know. It was pretty solid.
That's a great score. Will, your turn.
10 out of 10 finger pins.
Whoa. 10 out of 10 fingerprints.
I didn't
You get
just
to
do
figure
that.
out.
I wanted to do 9.5, but it wouldn't sound as good. 9.5 out of 10 finger pins.
So you're just gonna give it a 10.
I'll give it a 10. I really
Wow.
liked it.
It's like a high rating. Everyone's
That
high.
is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I really liked it. It had the character development that needed to be there. It had the interesting characters that needed to be there. It had the visual effects that needed to be there. If I was little, I would have loved this movie. Like, I would have worshipped it and watched it a million times.
Wow, worshipped it.
Ooh.
As much as I did Star Wars, and I don't know why, but I loved The Shadow. I don't know if you remember that.
The Shadow, the guy with the hat.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I never watched that show, but I don't know what's going on there. But all right, Tommy, your score. Are you gonna love it as much as Williams?
The only movie that I've given a 10 out of 10 so far is Deadpool. And I would
Deadpool.
say the Doctor Strange is a 10 out of 10.
Dang,
So
two
that's
10s.
that's interesting for me because this movie, I actually tried to find flaws and I really couldn't find any at all. I mean, it has everything. It has humor. It has a story that's kind of compelling. It has a character that you actually start to care about. It's got the badassery, but it's also got like the humbleness. It's got the action scenes. It's got great CGI. It's got great fight scenes. It's got great everything. There's nothing about this that strikes me as, oh, this is a bad movie. Hell no. It's good. It's flawless. Good job. 10 out of 10.
Oh, dang.
10 out of 10 distorted realities.
The only the only complaint I really had about the movie is there's a few loopholes there, at least a few, and one of them being
Bro, it's Doctor Strange. There are going to be loopholes.
Oh my god.
yeah, I could go into details, but it'd be spoilers, so I just won't do it. But I can easily overlook those loopholes because the rest of the movie makes up for it. Suspension of belief was there. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's what got you going with that movie. So, Pedram, what'd you give it?
I would also give it 10 out of 10 batons.
Oh, that's 3 10s. All right, 10 out of 10
The
batons.
highest rated movie we've done yet.
And so 3 out of 10. So 10 out of 30. And then Ellie, what'd you give it again?
9.
So 9. Oh my Jesus, this is gonna be a high score. So 30 plus.
So Hill, what's your
9.5?
score?
So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Jesus
Oh.
So
Jesus!
and the reason I give it an 8.5 is because I'm trying to bring your guys' scores down. So you guys are a little high. You guys.
It's a humble 8.5. It's trying to humble the score.
Oh my god, dude.
jerking off
The
dance.
dark matter got to
we
him.
started full of ourselves. Now we're humbleizing.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at that. Coming full circle.
Gotta even you guys out. So the reason why I give it an 8.5 is not because it's there's no terribleness in it. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did a great job. Everything looks good in the movie. I just think that they kind of went, the Doctor Strange route. They kind of went after a different movie that Leonardo DiCaprio did. And if you guys remember that movie, I forget the name off the top of my head. Inception. It looked a lot like Inception, and
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. But you could have did more,
Honestly, the only thing that was Inception was the buildings turning. Other than that,
that's it.
nothing was there.
But that graphics are really like, okay, cool.
Well, how the fuck else are you going to spin a goddamn...
and relax.
Actually, Doctor Strange...
Relax.
Doctor
You
Strange...
didn't make this movie.
Doctor Strange, originally, right? They did this stuff in the comics, apparently.
Yeah, they did.
So Inception...
Yeah, a lot of
Strange.
the comics had a lot of stuff in it. Like the Shambhala stuff is cool. the Shambhala Wi-Fi password is actually one of the books, names of the books that the comic was based off of. Into Shambhala was the name of one of the Doctor Strange comics. It was just like a little ode to that, I think. But the only reason I give it some downs and some things like that, I felt like the character development for Doctor Strange was awesome, but every other character was kind of not so strong. Like is it Odo or Hordo, whatever that guy is? Mordo. That character's development was kind of...
That's the powerful guy, right?
The black guy?
Yeah.
That's the
black guy? It's his other student, the black guy.
That is a weak character. I mean, the way it ends is like, really?
He's like, his character was weak, and that's why I brought down is like, hey, yeah, you're cool. That character is going to be... He seems like he's going to be cool, and they don't build him up very much.
Well, the thing is, he's one of the... Like, if in the story, in the comic, and in Spider-Man, you can just follow, he's one of the bigger baddies.
Yeah, but
His story makes sense, though.
We don't know much about the story.
But
There's no character development.
There's no character development. His development is weak.
It is. It's just that you're so focused on Strange's.
Yeah, but that you shouldn't. But if you're going to introduce a big character,
he's not supposed to be.
Mordo is a big character.
No, but not in this.
He's Doctor Strange is one of Doctor Strange's biggest enemies.
I know, but what I'm saying is...
It's like saying Joker is not, in a Batman movie, Joker is not, the big focus.
Yeah, they took it away. Maybe they're taking it away because they don't want to build up to it and say, hey, we're not going to put him on there.
Maybe it's like he is my friend. He's my friend.
Doctor Strange 2, they're going to drop him in.
Of course they are. Of course they are. But
which means,
come on, you can't
But look, if they made him,
you can't just have a little bit of weak character development and say, hey, he's going to kick everyone's butts, but he doesn't show he can kick everyone's butts. I mean,
no. Who everyone's butt? He didn't kick nobody's butt except for that one dude at the end. Other than that,
he talks about it in the movie. Just I don't want to bring anything out.
No, but look, if you think about it this way, if they made him a bigger focus, then the main villain of the whole story would not even be. What's the point of them then?
So what's the main villain of the story again? What's his name?
Dormammu.
And Dormammu, they changed a lot from the comics. Not a lot. But they made him look a little bit different. He kind of looks like a space alien.
I mean, the head. They can see the head.
He looks like a ripple in space time. But
family.
But overall, I think that it was just that the side characters, like Christine, I think is her name, is the fellow doctor that he's with. Christine.
Yeah, I don't know if she's supposed to be a major character.
She's not a major character. She has very little, anything, and I think she is definitely important to Doctor Strange.
I know the scene, the surgery scene, was actually pulled from one of the comics, almost 1-to-1.
I liked it. It was nice.
I just gave it that number. I think that there are some things that I had a little issues with, but I think the movie was great. And 8.5 is not a bad score, so relax, guys. 8.5 is pretty high.
Relax, Tommy. Relax.
So we got 30 plus 9 plus 8.5. Holy crap! What did I just do? 30 plus 9 plus 8.5.
Let's just say the movie's 10 out of 10 and get over
5. We got 9.5. It's almost 10. 9.5.
It's 10.
No Samuel L. Jacksons in this movie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No Samuel Jackson needed. Thank you very much. So I think it did good.
Patch, man.
It was good. Yeah, Dead to Eye Patch. They, by the way, they dropped Doctor Strange in this Winter Soldier, and the top scene where somebody's talking to all the Avengers, and they say, he's looking for all the special characters such as Stephen Strange. So they bring him up. I just think that it's a character that they're building up there. And I think it's going to be a great series, so we'll see what happens. So on to the topic of the week, number 2.
Topic of the week number 2: Rogue Contracts Syndicate.
So there's this game.
That we got for review from the developer.
What is it? Go
Dark Studios.
Yes.
And how was it?
Have you ever played Metal Gear?
Yeah.
So think of it as a top-down Metal Gear with the enemies not being as smart.
So original Metal Gear, just not as smart.
Yeah, I mean, if you alert an enemy to your presence, they hear your sound, then they kind of run to your area, then they run back to and go and do their own thing again. They don't look at their enemies dead on the floor or anything like that. What this game is based off of are games like a game called Hotline Miami, and this is so fast paced that kind of stuff doesn't matter. You're just going through people, mowing them down. But in this case, they're going for a stealth angle, so it doesn't quite work in their favor as much because of that. So, I mean, even Ellie notices like, oh no, he's not checking out that guy. He just forgot about him. He's just moving back to where he's supposed to go. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because there's like a dead body on the ground.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was kind of worked to its detriment. In addition to the graphics. Ellie, what did you think about
those
the
are my
graphics?
favorite. I don't know. Like, if a game is not that great, what saves it for me is usually the graphics, something pretty to look at. This one's flat. It's not appealing. It's just
It's a
boring.
top-down game, right?
I know you
Yeah.
haven't seen much of Hotline Miami, but from the footage that you did see,
Yeah,
in the
it's
review,
colorful at
yeah, it's
least.
very colorful.
But it looks exactly the same.
It doesn't look exactly the same. It's
Like the
very,
kinda looks- yeah,
doorways
exactly.
and stuff.
Oh, you mean in Rogue
Yeah.
Syndicate?
Yeah, like Rogue
The-
Syndicate, and then like that game looked very eerily similar with the door
looked
opening.
like
The
layout
top
looks
down kind of building
similar.
layout is similar, but the art style is completely different.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The art style is. I just meant to say like the room designs, like you
Yeah,
go in
because
the
they're
room.
both top down shooters. Yeah.
Well, like the way it controlled though was pretty fine. Like I played games with a similar layout. I feel like it's just a basic like kind of like a maze themed game that most people can make easily. So they all seem similar. But this one had no problem with like the actual moving of the character. It's actually better than other games I've played, but it's just not fun to look at, and it's just sad.
I know if you're gonna go to the stealth angle, you need to put some more AI into the.
Or at least know
Enemies.
what you're hiding behind, because it was like for a while it was like experimenting, kind of like, okay, so that's a table, but they can still see you, so you can't hide behind that.
It looks like stairs, but it's actually just a normal floor.
My favorite part is when you guys looked at your feet.
Yeah, that was a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
And the feet are just like pivoting as the mouse cursor moves.
Yeah, I mean the game looks like it was made by a small developer. We can't really say too much because I know I can't code a game like that.
Yeah, but then
Oh,
at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time, you have games like Hotline Miami and look amazing and play amazing. And it's not just the fact. I mean, I don't think there's even any feet in that game. So they put a feature in there that's kind of add-on. But for the overall design of the game, it just makes it look even more corny.
Yeah, like I mean, like even just design, as in like story. That was our favorite, right?
Oh, freaking Amanda!
Yeah,
never
then-
showing up.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god.
No, there's just nothing appealing with the characters either. There was like the characters, forget it. There was no story. There's nothing pretty to look at. The only thing you can rely on is that at least it moves okay. But then at the same time, you can't even play it well because you don't know what you're looking at, and then you die so easily.
Yeah, but it's part of the challenge is dying so easily, right?
I guess.
I mean, you feel like, okay, I'm gonna go try it this way now, or maybe it can
Or at
distract
least
them.
at least a somewhat like some introduction of like they had like a line where it's like, oh, these soldiers are more advanced, more trained, and then all of a sudden there they are, but you don't. I don't know.
All of a sudden they're grabbing you and exploding.
Exactly.
Right. I was gonna say you open the door and they're going for that guy, and then just he grabs you and just explodes.
And then Will asks you, how did he know you were there behind that door?
Yeah. Come after you. I don't know. I feel like it glitches a lot.
So I know that Will and Ellie did a game review and are gonna put that up on YouTube's,
It's gonna be up by the time it's posted.
and we'll have a brand new video review for you guys to watch alongside. You can also hear us here on the podcast, which will be in the same areas. You can also get the links off of our website at nerdconfessions.net. So what do you guys rate it?
6.
Yeah, I had rated it a 6. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like horrible. It was amusing to play. I had a bit of fun.
How much is this game again? Sorry.
$8?
It's $8.
So for $8.
Yeah, but at the same time, Hotline Miami is $9. Hotline Miami 2, on the other hand, is $15. So you can tell there's something appealing with that game, but the first one is about the same price as Syndicate.
That's true. I mean, there's something about, they're trying to. The top-down genre isn't really a genre that's staying alive real well. So
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way for them to adapt this to mobile, which I don't think there is, it might work better for them, but I don't think it would adapt that way.
No mobile? That's a mobile game?
Yeah, I mean, how would
No.
you do that?
No, I get really frustrated.
Yeah,
like
there's no way.
just no. If it was like a tap one, forget it. Dude, like if you have to tap around where your character wants to go, no, it'd
No,
be
it's so
horrible.
Twitch. There's no way.
No, and then the only way I was able to survive sometimes was just circling around them
With your
they
sword?
yeah, with your sword, and then just hopefully you hit it. I don't know. Nice
Well,
try though.
6 it is.
We give it 6 because 5 would be like for its genre, it's kind of average. The graphics are kind of hold it behind, but there's some fun elements there.
Yeah.
So that's why we gave it the 1 point above.
Yeah. And then anything lower than a 5 is insulting. I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't ET level.
Oh my god.
But yeah, there's some redeemable qualities there. So 6 out of 10.
6 pivoting legs.
6 out of 10 pivoting feet.
Pivoting feet.
Oh,
Red
6 out of 10.
ninjas.
Terrorist bombings.
Question of the week.
Everybody out there, we've got a question of the week, and it's going to be to everyone in this room. So, my question is, how long do you think the MCU will last since they're going to start rebooting characters after this phase, after the not Age of Ultron, what's the one with the gauntlet? Infinity Wars. After Infinity Wars, do you think that people are going to be happy with the reboot of all the characters?
Yeah.
Why, Ellie? Why?
No.
I don't know. They're just always seeking for something new. I don't think they'll mind that much. As long as it keeps on coming.
I think Marvel will die and DC will take over with their actual, since they're going backwards. DC will take over because they'll actually have the origin stories.
Oh, wow.
So anything is possible, you know. We're going to go, Cubs won, so anything is possible.
That's true. I think you got a lot of...
And no, Back to the Future did not get it right. It was a year late.
There's too many.
Still pretty
damn-
close. It was too close.
Marvel has too many characters for it to die right now.
So my thing is that when will people start... You know how we had action heroes from the 80s and the 90s? So now we have comic book heroes in the 2000s and the early 2010s, the 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that they're going to run out at the end of the until 2020? Are we still going to have comic book heroes? I honestly think that people will be tired of them and
If
they're going to
this
look for
runs
other
out,
things.
if this runs out, it's the end of the movies. I'm just gonna point that out right now, because other than that, most movies right now that come out
Or sequels.
are either sequels or they're crap, and no one's watching them in movie theaters.
The reason why they're sequels is because that
They're running out of stories. I mean, how many stories can you pump out?
It's not just stories.
It's like
It's the reason why it's getting more and more complex and more of the sequels are coming out is because the studios get a lot of profit off remakes. If the consumer said, hey man, we want to see original content, we don't want to see remakes, then they would make really good original content. The thing is that they don't. Right now I think it's still the golden age of television. Television stories are way better than the movies that you see in theaters. And because the TV show writers are really working really overtime to have great shows, like Walking Dead is one of them. You're looking at other shows that are on TV that have a really great story people love, like House of Cards is out there. So it's a golden age of television. Just TV and movies are not able to capture that much story in a 2-hour period or 3-hour period. But you're able to capture it on TV. So that's what I think. I don't think it's going to last that much longer. I'll give it until 2020 and we'll see what happens.
I was going to say, the thing is, there's not going to be enough time past when the Infinity Wars ends for them to start rebooting and have a new audience to capture. It's going to be the same audience. There's not that much time passing after Infinity Wars.
Exactly, but yeah. So what I'm worried about is if they start to reboot, maybe even Iron Man or make like the Iron Lady or something like that. I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't think it will be popular. Yeah,
we'll see where we go. But anyway, that was my question of the week. I'm happy you guys had answers. So Tommy, wrap it up.
I would love to see a Wonder Woman versus Supergirl. I'm just throwing that out there.
Like sex?
Perverted fantasies.
Yes.
Perverted fantasies.
I almost put this in my work phone.
Well, wait until the comic book movies catch up with the comic books. You'll have Black Iron Man woman.
Iron Man woman. Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions, opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you'd like to discuss, feel free to send it our way at nerdconfessions.net. We have a contact form right there, and you can also do it on any of our social media platforms, such as, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you want to go. As always, we would like to thank all our listeners, followers, for tuning in and supporting us. Share us, like us, review us, whatever you can do. It can bring us a lot of help and helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. This is Nerd Confessions, signing off.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody loves you.
Logging out of Nerd Confessions. Connections terminated. Transmission over.